right, we've been talking about what type of a trap gun to buy, what type of a shotgun. We've been talking about ammunition. We've talked about a lot of things. We've also talked about recoil and recoil reduction. Probably the biggest part of recoil reduction, or having a shotgun that doesn't recoil a great deal for you, is one that fits you correctly. Fit is the most important part of recoil reduction and hitting a target. You might notice that these four shotguns are all very different in a lot of ways. They're different types of mechanisms and everything to make them operate, but they all have one thing in common. They all fit me exactly to the dimensions that I want. That makes them all comfortable to shoot. The number one thing to worry about in gun fit, people will tell you all sorts of things about arm length and all that's all very, very important. The number one thing is that your eye that you look down the barrel with has to be perfectly aligned with the barrel. It must be. Think of it as a rifle. You move the backside on a rifle. If you want to shoot left, you move the backside left. If you want to shoot right, you move the backside right. Up or down, same thing. That's what your eye is doing, and so your eye has to look exactly down the barrel or you won't shoot where you're looking. It's just that simple. Which brings me to another point that is very important before you ever get around to gun fit, and that's establishing which is your dominant eye. We all have a dominant eye. Typically left-handers, as myself, my left eye is my dominant eye. Typically for right-handers, their right eye is their dominant eye. But it's not at all totally consistent. It can go either way. In putting on clinics for 25, 30 years, I've noticed that probably about a quarter of the people that are right-handed are actually left eye dominant. There isn't anything wrong with that. There isn't any problem with it. But if you're left eye dominant and shooting right-handed with a shotgun, you won't be successful. It's that simple. You can try it. There's things you can do. You can put tape over your glasses. You can do all of those things. The best thing to do if you're left eye dominant is to shoot left-handed. So how do you determine left eye dominance or right eye dominance? How do you determine eye dominance? Because we all have it. The easiest way to check for eye dominance, the very easiest way, it takes 5 seconds, is you form a circle with your hands like this, and you look at an object. You can do this in your own house, you can do it outside, you can do it wherever you want. Form a circle, both arms stretched out to their full length, both eyes wide open, and keep that object in that hole that your hands have created and bring it back to your eye. It will come back to your dominant eye, and it might fool you. Don't cheat on it, because all you're doing is cheating yourself. Bring it back, bring that spot back to the eye that it wants to go to. That will be your dominant eye. It's very simple. You can try it 2 or 3 times, it'll always come back to your dominant eye. And you right-handers that come to your left eye, live with it and work with it, because it'll make you a better shooter in knowing that. So, we've established eye dominance. Mine happens to be my left eye, which fortunately, I'm left-handed. Don't worry about it if you're not. You can change it. I've changed hundreds of people from right-handed to left-handed shooting because that was their dominant eye. Okay, let's take the next step in gun fit. We're going to try a different gun than I've shown you before. This is my favorite old 870. One real rough rule of thumb, but it's not a bad idea. You put the gun in your elbow right here, just above the break in your elbow, and reach up, and you should be able to put your finger on the trigger right into the second joint. See that? It comes directly to the second joint of my finger. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like that. If it was like that, the gun is too short for you. If it was like that, the gun's too long. That's very, very basic and simple, but it at least has to do that.